Here we are today with Brian Neal, my personal cycling consultant and my bike mechanic. Today we're going to talk about the difference between a tri-specific bike and a road bike. This is my tri-bike and this is Brian's road bike. What's the first thing to focus on to notice the difference?
Well, the first thing that's different about a tri-bike versus a road bike, everybody notices the handlebars because it gets you in a different position and so forth. And you can attach those to a normal road bike, but we're going to show you why that might not be the best option if you're just thinking about getting into triathlons and deciding which bike you want to buy. The major difference in the two bikes are the angles of the frame itself. So the head tube and the seat tube frame. And on a road bike, they're going to be more laid back, around between 72 and 73 degrees, where on the triathlon and time trial bikes, they're brought up to 78 degrees, and some of them go crazy 80 degrees. And the reason why you do that is because these are built for speed. So it works in combination with your cockpit up here. So when you're this far forward, it kind of shifts your body, so you're leaning forward. For one, when you're in a triathlon, you want to conserve muscle energy. So when you're in this position on a tri-bike, you're supporting your weight and things with your skeleton. So you're not using as much strength and muscle and hence energy when you're in this position, because you're able to
It's all on your legs at this point.
Well, it's up on your upper body, and you're not sitting so much. When you're on a road bike and you're holding yourself up in different hand positions, you're supporting yourself with your muscle instead of your skeleton. So the other thing on a tri-bike is what it does is the right tri-bike will actually make your run better.
Oh, from the bike to the run transition.
From the transition, and actually get you more time in your run. And here's how this works. When you're on a tri-bike specific and your angle is stiffer, it moves your leg forward and makes you work different muscles. On the tri-bike, you're going to be using your quads, and your hamstrings get a break. You're putting more muscle use in there, so when you get off the bike, your hamstrings, which you're running with, are fresher. So, and there's been studies that shown over a 10K period, you can increase by almost 5 minutes.
Wow.
Just on the difference of bikes. So that's one thing, that's the major thing in a triathlon that really separates it from a road bike. And then also, again, back to the cockpit, you have a shorter head tube. It gets you down in a lower aerodynamic position. Most of the bikes, compared to a road bike, this one I have set up with the bar end shifters. But if you're looking at buying a bike, they will also come with the STI shifters that are down here, where the tri-bikes are all going to be set up for bar end shifting. That makes it a lot quicker shifting, so you're not down. These are really made for being in the aero position and going as fast as you can.
So how do you determine whether or not you need or want a tri-bike versus a road bike?
I would say you got to look at your goals. At the end of the day, do you want to be a triathlete or do you want to be a cyclist? And if your goal is to be doing, X amount of triathlons a year, then it would be a better choice to buy a triathlete bike, because that improves your run. The problem with a road bike and setting it up this way, which is what a lot of people do, is that first, if you're not really prepared and trained to use these bars, a lot of times it messes your reach up, because a road bike will actually have a little bit longer top tube. Those run shorter, and that's because you don't want to get one too stretched out. But if you're not specifically training that, it will inhibit your breathing a lot. People think, oh, I'll just put those on there and I'll go out and I'll ride, and they're not used to it, so they're not breathing properly, which then inhibits their ability to ride.
Lower back problems as well, shoulder pain.
And that's where it comes, because people get this and they get stretched out, or they get too crunched in, so that when they go off, and it happens to me when I ride this, when I get off here and then I go to run, and the first half mile to the mile, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, my back is all knotted up and I got to get it worked out. And that's where, if you're in a triathlon and you're getting off the bike and it's smooth transition into the run, you're off and running and you're not losing time, because you're hobbling along while your back readjusts.
great deal. Difference between tri bike and a road bike. Brian Neal, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.